What's going on, guys? JPA Trades here, back from long way out, I guess. A month away from YouTube, married now, all that fun stuff. Good to be back. So, before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button. You can join and become a channel member if you want. So, let's get into it. Challenge account, trades in the challenge account, the Nvidia trades, all that fun stuff. So we're just going to go ahead, and I think what's best is to run through the challenge account, just kind of what happened this week. I made a nice little thread for you all on Twitter. So started out with a nice little L here with our AAGO trade. Got caught up in the sell-off down. So we'll just go ahead. We took the 50% loss, which is what we're using in the challenge account, right? So we're doing 50% of the portfolio with 50% stop loss. I mentioned earlier today when the portfolio gets a little bit bigger, I might trade some 0-day options, but those will be a much smaller percentage, just trying to get some crazy moves. But swing trades tend to be my favorite, or at least trades with a little bit more than 1 day tend to be my favorite for sharing on Twitter with you all. So Avago, I posted on Twitter a few nights ago kind of about the chart I was looking at and where I bought, and unfortunately the selling was just a little bit too much. So rather than recreate it on the chart, we're just going to show you. So here's where I bought it. I had that support line going, nice looking little wedge, and unfortunately we just fell right out and under. So a little rip me there. So didn't work. We got stopped out. It kept going much lower. We could have actually bought puts, but I'm not really much of a momentum trader. I much more love buying the dip, short and the rip, and all that fun stuff. So I guess we can just open up Avago real quick and just kind of show you it fell under and just kept falling, bounced a little bit. So something to reevaluate. Not as clean of a look anymore in Avago, but Broadcom, Avago, however you want to call it. But overall, took the loss and went on to the next one. So that was the nice winner, which was these Nvidia calls. And I know a lot of questions. You guys were kind of teasing me in there, all that fun stuff. So that's always when you know it's going to be a good trade. So we went ahead and bought that on the morning of the 25th. Went ahead and bought 5 contracts for still 500 for that split because it's always risky when you get started. But glad that we got the jump we wanted going. So everyone's gonna say, what made you want to buy that? So I'm in my daily, but let's say you're looking at just a 10 minute and there's the wick, but before that you're just like, oh my gosh, we're just falling and no end in sight. This looks like a disaster. So I always like to look at, me, John's wick, the big wick down, the big wicker, big wick energy, all that fun stuff. So just kind of at a glance, do you notice anything that looks like it might be a stopping point? And there it is, Dora the Explorer. It's right here at the bottom of this wick, and I wonder what it is. Is that the right number? Yeah, 106.94. And actually, there's a little bit more, like, yeah, like the 109 and like a couple other actions because I bought before 106.94. I didn't know if we'd make it the whole way down. I bought about, I think it was like, it was falling pretty fast, but it was certainly still upper end of 107s. I wasn't certain we'd fall the whole way under, and we actually kept going lower. So we actually fell, just to zoom in a little bit better for us here, we fell all the way down to, is that right? 106.3. So I kind of mentioned this will be a big level going forward. So let's clear this out, go back to just like a 90 minute, just so we can see a little bit clearer what happened on the day. So that's kind of where our bounce happened, and just kind of notice, like, you're not seeing any wicks. Like, you see some big wicks up and down, and basically what that's telling you is someone with a lot more money than us says, this is a spot where I want to buy and I want to be in here. And everyone in the world sees that this happened, and they're going to use it as a level to either plow under or use as a support to push higher. So I really like those long drawn out wicks, like these little ones. not as interesting to me, but like here's another interesting one. Like if you just want to look for these yourselves, like 125 is a pretty big spot. Here's another one. 117 is a pretty big spot. And what do you know? Oh, where did we stop yesterday? 116.63. So these are kind of little tips that I like to share with you all because it's not like me telling you this or you're going to make any of these go away. I like to be pretty transparent and show you what I'm looking at. So you know that, hey, there's a big wick down. Here's a big wick down. These are going to be hard levels to get through and break under. So like you saw like that, it went under but kind of bounced up like at 118, 117, where those two big wicks are, and had that bounce. Oh, look, 125. Would you look at that? Rejected there as we got closer to it and sold back down. So these big wicks, just think of them like big players making moves and decisions. And you can really use that to base your decisions off of. Like I didn't know how big the bounce would be here, right? But it was a quick fall down. So I was at least expecting a double, which is what I took in our challenge account. So I took what was about 110%, 150%. And you'll notice, let me see if I can find the tweet for you guys that I did in the main account 55, 115, 210, 270. I sold out the rest today, like kind of near open. I think it was less than 270, so I didn't really tweet about it. But in the main account, 110, I sold four of them. And then the last one, 150, because I was like, hey, this is quick. I think we literally got it in less than an hour. So I said, I'm just going to take it, get the money. I have my main account that I like to trade in. And same thing with your small. I think Colin Gladman said it here. Having runners is a big percentage privileged on a right. So it's easy to hold those last ones to the end when you already locked in so much profit that they don't matter. But when you're small, you just got to grab what you can and you just got to get that snowball rolling. So with that, I hope this helped you guys out. If you got any questions, comment down below, subscribe, be a channel member, all that fun stuff. See you out there next week.